So this Shabbat, we have Parshat Vaishlach, and we are in the month of Kislev, and we're going to talk based on discussion of the Rebbe, that the Rebbe said on the 15th of Kislev, 1992. 15th of Kislev, Tafshin Bet. Obviously, all the things are relevant for us today. And moreover, every day, it needs to be relevant for us more. And the Rebbe here explained in a simple words, very interesting concepts that we supposed to understand as a Jew and about our the Jew that living in this time. Obviously, this time is a special time because we know that the Rebbe already teach us that Mashiach going to come every day. So obviously, all the discussions here are only about how to prepare us to the time of Mashiach. And the month of Kislev blessed by few holidays. What is the holiday? First we know. Hanukkah, of course. Hanukkah, but it's in the end of the month. Then we have the Hasidic holidays, which is decided by our Hasidic sages in the last centuries to add few important days to our calendar, which something which not done before few thousand years. And we know that the fact that Chachamim did such an action and added few holidays in the last centuries, which is something which no one did before. And we saw that Am Yisrael accepted these days to become a very important days. And we know them that this is something which is we need to learn about. What is this special about this holiday that after so long times we got them in the recent? And which holiday I'm talking about? The 19th of Kislev, 19 and 20 of Kislev, when the first Rebbe came out of the jail. Out of the jail. And what is the reason he entered to the jail? He entered to the jail because he spread Torah. Okay. And not just spread Torah. He spread Torah, the secrets of Torah, to every common person. Which means things which were before that only big sages was allowed to learn. Okay. He started and gave it to every individual that was ready to learn. And he more than that, based on what he did, no? Of course. And so, but what is the secret? Why it was so simple? Why it was so difficult to understand it? It was difficult to understand because before that, there are secrets of Torah which can are very overwhelming. That our Torah, it's the Torah of Hashem. And we think the halakha, sometimes what allowed to do, what is not allowed to do, in our our logic mind, that is belong to the human. However, the Torah itself, the source of it, it's not the wisdom of the human, it's wisdom of God. Hence, there is many levels, as we know in the Torah. And until last centuries, few hundred years ago, it was allowed only for to learn the secrets of Torah, which was hidden in hidden in the Torah was only for the sages. Why? Because they have been able to understand the same, how it's everything is one thing, and not to start to understand that there are many forces. For example, when we know that we speak about angels, and we will discuss today a little bit about angels. When we speak about angels, people can imagine different things. People can imagine many other, and I heard many ideas, what is angels? Starting from how you see it in the cartoons, and some people say it's the forces, and even the people who understand that this is some spiritual concept, that angel is a spiritual thing, it's not something physical, they still don't know what it actually means, and hence they have been thinking that this is maybe the angel having its own power, but how it could be, everything is the power of Hashem. So hence the secrets of Torah was hidden. It was hidden for many years, thousands of years, and whatever we knew about it, it's only a drop. And until today, what we know, it's still a drop. But in the time of Mashiach, this something will be fully revealed for every Jewish, because the Jews will elevate themselves once Mashiach will come, and we will explain about this little bit today. The situation in the world will be totally different. It will be clear that there is God. And if it's so, it will be clear that you need to go by his ways. And everyone will desire to know what is his ways in the time of Mashiach. Hence, the level of wisdom will be increased very much, because everyone will try to learn more Torah and more Torah, because they will understand that it's necessity for them. And because they will understand it necessity for them, the situation which will be that everyone will consume a lot of Torah, and if it will consume a lot of Torah, in the end they will reach to the highest level. And it's in very short time, if person dedicate few years good in Torah, he can achieve a lot, especially if he's doing it with great passion. He can achieve a lot. Depends how much passion you have, you can achieve much more. And in the time of Mashiach, the passion to learn Torah, it will be something that cannot be explained. And hence, we know that the revealing of the redemption is actually, it's something special. First of all, it's about conception, how you see the world. And hence, it's depend a lot of revealing the secrets of Torah. And when Abba Shem Tov started this, and then Admor HaZaken started, he did the next level. He started to print it, started to publish it in a very clear language, which in that time people, even not the most scholar people who learn by Kabbalist could understand it, but even a person who desiring Torah with some guidance could learn it and understand it. Not needed to be the biggest Torah scholar, but you will be able to understand it. And then we understand that because this is actually the really core, like we know in Avraham Avinu, the Judaism started from one point. And then when they came from Egypt was the exile. But we know, if we look on the story of Avraham Avinu in Brit Bet HaBetarim, which means they had the Torah describe a moment which Avraham and Hashem made between them a covenant, a contract, that they will not leave one each other, ever. Which means he will be with his kids, and he will be his servant. So they did Brit Ben HaBetarim, and this is a moment which actually the Jewish people have been created. In that moment already, Avraham was informed that he supposed that his kids going to be in exile in Egypt. The redemption, the final redemption, was happening in Egypt after 400 years from ברית בין הבתרים. 210 או סופרים מברית בין הבתרים. 210 years, it was supposed to be 400 זה מברית הבתרים. 400 from ברית בין הבתרים. 400 years later, the redemption really happened. But the redemption actually started in the moment of the covenant between Avraham and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Hashem. Now, 400 years later, redemption happened. Same thing in this redemption. There are moments which the redemption started. And this moment is Yutet Kislev, the coming weekend, Motzei Shabbat. It's the festival, another festival that blessed in this moment was the moment that the redemption has been started. Why? We'll describe what happened, and it's a place to say and invite everyone on Sunday, 7:30 in the evening. We're going to have here a feast special for this festival. So we most welcome everyone to come and join us and start to celebrate the redemption, which already started 250 years back. We are just going to see the end of it now. So the same moment is Yutet Kislev. Yutet Kislev, what happened? After the Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad started to publish the Torah, the secrets of Torah in a common language, was some people in the Jewish people, they didn't like it. How he spread out the Torah secrets for everyone. So what they did, they went to the king and they took some of his papers which speak about how God is the king of the universe and how God controls everything, and even the nations are servants of God, and they made it and changed some words, made it to show to the people in Moscow, the people who control the Tsar, who control Russia, that like the Rabbi Shneur Zalman is going against the king, against the Tsar of Russia. Hence, they took him to the jail, and in the jail, they kept him for a few weeks, and he was interrogated respectfully, but in the end of the day, even there are a few stories that the Tsar himself came dressed to a simple soldier, to his nest, to his cell. He immediately recognized him and he said the blessings of the kings. And he said, how you knew? He said, I have seen the angel of the nation, the nation going with you. So I knew immediately you are the king. So in the end of the story, he was released. Before he was released, he had a vision, very strong vision. Actually, it's not more than vision, that he said that they visit the Baal Shem Tov and his teacher, Magid Mimezrich, came to visit him. And he said, why Hashem put me in this jail? Because he understood that if nothing like this happened because the king or the Tsar deciding, because who deciding to put someone in the jail? Hashem. It's only reasons which happens in the nature that he will be there. He said, Hashem, why Hashem? What is my wrongdoing that I'm here? So their teacher, Baal Shem Tov and Magid Mimezrich answered him, you have been spread out the secrets of Torah. So many people in the Shammai, in heaven, asked how he can take the hidden things and do it publicly, which is who gave him the authority, who gave him the permission. This is something big to do. Till today, if someone wants to write something in halakha, even in halakha, he goes to someone to take permission. And here, something so great you did. Okay, you not need permission of one or two rabbis that tells you yes. You need real permission from Shamayim. How you did that? And of course, that Admor Zaken knew that he had permission from Shamayim. But the people that could not knew that he had permission from Shamayim, they argue for that. How he did such things. And Admor Zaken asked, should I stop now? Okay, maybe I was wrong. Chas v'shalom, but Admor Zaken was not wrong, but because we understand that this is like Moshe. But maybe he fed on himself. So he said, no, you not stop. Now that you started, you will continue. And the meaning of that is a great, because as we know, that all the idea of the redemption is that everyone will come to know God, which means will be able to have and interact and feel and sense and know how his ways in such level which never happened before. And we know that in the secrets of Torah that came out in the Sefer HaTanya and the other books of all the Rabotenu Nesuyenu, we know that actually these secrets are revealed, which means the redemption has started. The process has started. Yes, will be a moment which will see Mashiach, but as it started with Avraham Avinu, and there are stages, same thing it said about the time of the redemption. That is just like a sun that giving the ray before and then coming with the full-fledged. So the rays has started in this day of 19th of Kislev. And hence, it's become a huge festival because we know that the redemption is going to come, going to be so great. And it's more than a sign. It started in process. The process has been started. Once you reveal the secrets of Torah into everyone who can learn Torah, you obviously in a situation which is no comeback from it. Because until it was hidden, you could say, okay, the process has not started. No one permission to give it out. Now that it's been given out, which means the redemption started. Because it's out. And this is the importance of these days of Yutet and Kef Kislev, that when the Admor Zaken was released, it's actually the importance of them, it's so great that that it was decided by the Rabotenu Nesuyenu to call it a holiday. They call it a festival, to add a date to the calendar. And it's accepted by our other tzaddikim in our generation. You can see in Yerushalayim, you will go in Sunday, you will see that they're doing festivals of Hasidic songs, thousands of people from all the type of people. You will see 1,000 and thousands of people. You see Sfaradi people, and you will see the people who's Kippa Sruga, and you will see Chabad, and you will see, actually Chabad you will see so less there because the numbers of people who are coming there, are from all the people, because since that day, all the light of Hasidut started. You need to understand, before that, even to sing in the prayer, it was not something that's so common. Hasidut brought this out, to sing through the prayer. How we conducted 300 years the Torah and Mitzvot, it was different. It was much more what to do, what not to do. Now it's much more with a feeling, with ability to connect to Hashem himself. But the Rebbe here emphasized a few questions. Question number one, we know if we see the light of the Levana, of the moon, we know that the moon receiving light from the sun, correct? And during the month, in the beginning of the month, we doesn't see the moon. Slowly, slowly it's ebb until the middle of the month, and then come down. What actually happens? In the beginning, the moon just left the sun. The Kadur Haaretz is here. The sun is, let's say, this is the sun somewhere here. And we have Kadur Haaretz, and we have the moon, which going around it. In the beginning of the month, the moon is there. The Levana is here. The moon is here between the sun and the earth. Correct? Hence, it's getting the light, but not transferring. Slowly, 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 it's going, getting some rays, and returning the rays until it's reaching here to the most point that getting the most of the rays, because she's reflecting, getting reflection from the full reflection from the sun, and then go less, 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 and the reflection is less. And more, and she's getting closer back to the sun. It's until when she's in front of the sun, you don't see it. Why? Because if we understand the light of the moon, it's reflection. As much as you are in a distance, you can reflect. If you are close, you cannot reflect. And here the Rebbe emphasized some great secret. When the moon, Am Yisrael, is called also, is Nidme la Levana, Nikra Levana. We are the moon and Hashem is the sun. Hashem is giving us light and we reflecting it out. There is direct light and there is light that we are reflecting. And where we are reflecting? The people around us. Yeah. We getting the law of Hashem. When we are the nearest to Him, which means when we are in completeness with Him, then there is no light of us coming. It's not light of the moon. It's only the light of the sun. But when we are far, we're able to give light. This is how we do. The days, however, it's not actually that we are not giving light. When you are so close to God, it's not that you are not giving light. It's reflect through only the light of God. You are so close that you are yourself giving actually much more higher light. Same thing, that's why Hanukkah, you know that all the festivals usually determine for the 15th of the month. 15th of the month we have Pesach. 15th of the month we have Purim. 15th of the month we have Sukkot. And most of the other festivals are the first side of the month. You want Shavuot, the 6 days, 6 and the 7. Rosh Hashanah, the first, which means it's always connected to the time when we're reflecting light. That's where we have festival. But in Hanukkah and in Yutet Kislev, they're in the second side of the month, which means they are in a situation which the light is not so great, but it's closer. It's closer to the sun. When Am Yisrael is united with God it's God give light to them, how we see it. See, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they have been called the chariot. Chair. What do you do in the chair? You sit. What are you doing with the chariot? You ride. Same thing. They have been only a chariot to God to use them. They have been paying, but what it means a chariot? There are to be a servant, and there is to be a chariot. There is a two different things. Servant is doing what the master says, but they are two different people. He need to tell him, he do. If he didn't tell him, he will not do. And there is a different level. There is a different level. There is a chariot. He's a chair, which means the master ride with him. He's part of the master, which means he sit on it. The master just lead him. Obviously, in terminology of a body and a soul, and if we say that God was a chariot in the body of Avraham Avinu and Yitzchak and Yaakov, obviously, he used their body, their emotions, their everything in order as a chair, as a horse, as something to ride on. Hence, what Avraham Avinu was feeling, God was feeling. It's obviously that you knew what is the mood of God to the mood of Avraham Avinu. Let's say it this way. You knew, same thing that Tzaddik. When you see how you know when Hashem is happy with you, you know, you used to go to the Rebbe. If the Rebbe just smiled to the Chassid, that's it. He doesn't need anything anymore. Smile to him. Why? Ooh, the face of Shekhinah gave me a smile. What I need more? Right. Because if he pleased with me, which means God pleased with me. Yes, sure. This is the tzaddikim. And this is chariot. And wait a second. And hence, when we talk about the fathers, 1 minute, sorry. תסגרי, זה מפריע. So, hence, when we coming to speak about Yaakov Avinu, obviously, he was actually the Bachir Shebavot. He was a chosen father. He was a third leg. Through him, all the channel. It was the highest representation of God, highest image of God, the spiritual image of God in the world. What it means, image of God? You want to know Yaakov Avinu, if you want to understand exactly the completeness of God, you could see it through Yaakov Avinu. Why? In Abraham was in Abraham, you have been seeing mainly the attribute of kindness of God. How God is kind to everyone, how he wants to give to everyone. In Yitzchak, you have seen the severity. We spoke about this. They determine many other explanations have to severity, but you have seen the opposite of kindness, the justice with Yitzchak. With Yaakov, you could see both. Hence, it said in Gemara, Shuparei de Yaakov Avinu, Me'en Shuparei de Adam Arishon. His image of Yaakov, like the image of first man, the Adam, first Adam. And we know the first Adam represent the beginning of how God's image came to the world. And when we speak about that, and we speak about Yaakov, and we know that the idea of Yaakov and Esav, it actually speaks about the story about the end of the game on how the redemption is supposed to come. Where there is a big secret about the story. If we said last week, we explained that Esav represent the animal powers, the power of the earthy powers, the wild powers. Actually, it's in the ways of in the words of Kabbalah, it's called the Olamot de Tohu. Why Tohu? Tohu, which mean in a simple word, mean mess. Actually, if in a different way, it's a mixing of many things without an organization. Nothing connect to anything. And in the word of the holiness, in the word of Torah, everything connecting to something. Everything have connection. Every force it's only one thing. It's a one world. It's a one Hashem. But there is a two different way to see the powers. There is a power that says that everyone is an individual. If I'm seeing that everyone individual, it's me. I have Ephraim here. I have Yochai. I have me. I have everyone here, and there is no connection between everything. Everyone is doing whatever he thinks. This is the idea of a self. I am Hunt. I will take care about myself. I want to get. Everyone is separated to himself. And there is Yaakov, which he built family. He feels that everything is organized. Everything is one. And the idea is that Yaakov Avinu was spreading is to say there is one God in the world, the same thing that Avraham Avinu said, that the God is in every corner and he exists everything. And hence, we all have one commitment one to each other, everything connected to each other. You cannot do whatever you want. This is what Avraham, and this is Yaakov continued. And this voice of Yaakov Avinu, he's walking with the Jews till today and helped us to know what is right to do, what is wrong to do. Because we understand that we have to report to something. There is someone master on this. But it's a small voice. Because this voice is not something very powerful. When we want something, when we know that, when we want, for example, to achieve something, we forget about this voice. How we see it when we, for example, fighting with a friend. We doesn't see his side. We see only our side, which means our animal powers are more strong. Our basic and randomly, what we call random powers, are more strong. We're feeling like an individual, feeling like separated. Only when person is studying more and more and more Torah, is starting to understand that he actually small, and he's part of big picture, and everyone have a job, and everyone have a value, and everything is one. Then he started to see things in a different aspect. And Yaakov was the one that's sitting and learning Torah. He was in the Torah, in that time was not so many scripts like we have today. They have some scripts which they got from Shem and Ever, the first people after the Mabul, and from Noah and from Adam Arishon, they had little bit some of the wisdoms of Avraham there, but it was transferred very minorly. And mainly it was to look and try to understand by your own connection with God. So hence, they have been reached to situation which they understood the word unity, the word oneness. Very clear. This is Yaakov. Esav did not understand it. Same two forces have, every one of us have. There is one small voice which understands that in all this world is nonsense. Jew understand that. All this world is one thing, it's only I'm here to serve some high purpose. Every Jew knows it, but it's very little voice. However, this little voice helped us to at least to decide what is wrong, what is not wrong. But we don't understand really what behind this voice. What is the greater truth which we don't know? However, God put the neshama in the body in order that for some reason. And what is the reason? If we will be in situation that we are very near to God, which means we have no body, we are in the upper world, we will never be able to feel godly feeling, which means we will enjoy the light of Hashem. We will enjoy the kindness of Hashem because you feel the sun and you are very close to the sun. But to give light like Hashem, and hence to understand what is it to be Hashem, to be Him, which obviously He is everything. This is we could not do if we will not come to this world, because in this world you're feeling individual. You need to be a little bit far in order to give light. Take the lights which come from the sun to the mirror and give light. And this is a very big secret why we had to go to the darkness of the Galut. We said that Hashem is like the Chatan and we are like Kala. I mean, He's giving to us and we give Him. We're creating new reality. Emissary did it. But there is a greater mission. The greater mission is to bring the presence of God to oneness to the world, which means now that we have been reflecting, until now we have been reflecting. When we'll come now to the time of Mashiach, when we'll come to the light of Mashiach, we will be the light. Hashem will give light to the world through us. But we will be nullified, which means we will feel that we are nothing and nothing and nothing. That all is He's doing, and it will be clear to everyone else because we will reflect it as accordingly. God will give light through and not by reflection. Like the fathers have been the chariot, every Jew, the time said, the prophet says that every Jew will walk in the street and every people, the Jews, the non-Jews around will come, thousands of people will come to every Jew to kiss his tzitzit. It will be so great, the light which will come through the Jews. But for that, you need to go closer to the Chama. And hence we see that the 19th of the month, few days after already the light starting to give from the Levana to become, which means we are getting closer since the 19th of Kislev. And then we're reaching to Hanukkah. Hanukkah, there is no light. Kaf Hei, Kaf Vav, Kaf Zayin. There is no light of moon, but there is light of candles. which means Am Israel, the neshamot of Am Israel, they are giving light, and actually not just in a low level, in getting high day by day. And this is what Yaakov and Esav, Yaakov told to Esav. Yaakov send angel, our parasha start, Vaishlach Malachim leEsav Achim. It's only of the few places which we think the father stories that angels are said in the Torah itself, which means it's mentioned in the Torah itself, not in midrashim, not in explanatory. Itself in the Torah, it said that Yaakov sent angels to Esav. Before they are supposed to meet, he sent him and angels. Rashi said, real angels. No missioners. Angels. What it means? And they have been in mission of Yaakov, not on mission of God. Yaakov understood that even if it's a small voice, he represents the voice of God in the world. And hence he understood that if he feel that he's supposed to also make Esav to become his brother and not his enemy, and to accept that, they accept the blessing which he took from him, accept that he is the one that say how, and he is the master. What it means? Yaakov knew he himself nothing. He is called Yaakov HaKatan, but he represents voice of God. He represents greater truth that's much greater than him, and hence he is supposed to take the blessing of the Jewish nation, in order that Esav himself also one day will be elevated to the same level of spirituality, which means the bodily powers which we feel, there will be a tools to understand God and to do the service of God and to become a godly creatures, which means, like David HaMelech said, תכלית ניnas netim לאויבים היו לי. I hated these people. When he speaks, the people who hate God. He developed hatred to what God hates. He developed love to what God loves. When he's been seeing someone else doing help to one each other, he cry from emotion. Like God getting him, enjoying that someone doing mitzvah. David was like the same thing. Yaakov was the same thing. Why David? David actually represented that, the unity. David was red. He was redhead. He was, also on Esav it was said that he was redhead. He was, but David used this, and David all his life was fighting wars and won them and became a king. And once he became a king, the only thing which he wanted to do, and his son had to do that, is to build the house of Hashem. David represented that, the powers of Esav forced by the voice of Yaakov. He was not going to a war without his feeling. With his feeling. He was going to the war only with as per things which he knew that this is a God wish. He was not fighting his wars. He did not took on himself anything. Hashem chose him. And hence he was a complete chariot. He's the fourth leg of the chariot. In some of the opinion it's Rachel, but David is also Malchut. And when we coming to the David, who he was, David is from him Mashiach will come. We know Mashiach ben David, which means the Mashiach also supposed to join between these two powers to elevate this material life to a higher level So it will be, the spiritual life will be one with the material life until it will be one thing. היה השם אחד ושמו אחד. It's one thing. There is no spiritual power and material power. There is no individuals. It's one unity. We are going in one harmony that God give life in every one of us through the wishes and desires that revealed with the kids of Am Israel. This will be in the time of Mashiach. When you, Ephraim, will want to have water, it's like God wants you to have water. That God wants to have water. But why you need this? So you will be able to do bracha and publish the name of God. But you will feel it that you are not drinking for the water. You are drinking for saying bracha. It's a different world. The Rebbe said that the Rambam said that after Mashiach will come, yes, will be a miracles, but Ulam keminago noeg, which means we will continue to do material life. But he said, but the change will be so deeply that we will be able to call it a new world. Be'ezrat Hashem, and now we are going to these days of light, the light of Mashiach, and there are maybe the time to repeat few halachot of Hanukkah. First of all, about how we light the candles. We light the candles. There are a few halachot that to be practical on what we said, we will say how we lighting the candles. We know that in the first day we light 1. In the second day, 2. What you lighting first? The first day or the second day? No. You need to light the new candle before, which means before you lighting the candle of yesterday. Which means in the first day I will light candle number 1. And the first day I will light candle number 2 and then 1. Third day, 3, 2, and 1. In the first day we have how many brachot? 3. The 2 brachot of Chanukah, להדליק נר חנוכה, שעשה ניסים לאבותינו, and שהחיינו. And the second day onwards, how many blessings? 2. שהחיינו, not to be saved.
There is only 1.
Yes. Now, when we do the candles, we have to make sure that the shamash not sitting in the same height of the other candles, because then no one key will be able to verify, to understand which day we are. The shamash will mix, has to be little bit upper or little bit lower, but not in the same level. Second, has to be the Chanukiah. I've seen many Chanukiyot that look like a circle. This is better not to use. To take Chanukiyot that are straight. If you doesn't have, no need Chanukiah. You take candles and just put it in a straight line. Why? Because Chanukiah that look in a circle look like avuka, like a mixing lights, like a torch. And it's needed that the lights will be seen in
one line.
That every individual light will be. Why? Because every day was a different miracle. Every day it was an added new light and has to be separated. We cannot mix in one the light. And it's important that the light will be seen, because that the mitzvah is to publish the miracle. Like what we say today, the mitzvah of Aslan Israel is to give light to the world. Same thing in Hanukkah. We putting the lights usually either in the window, many people do, either in the door, either in a place that which will be seen. Also, if you cannot do it, also in the house, in some opinions is okay, but better that it will be seen. And you can also publish to your people of the house. It's also publishing the miracle. But to do that, it has to be that the miracle will be seen. And how? By what we, the Jews, giving light. There is a tradition in Hanukkah also to eat oily food. Why? The miracle was in oil. We know in the spiritual, the Torah is compared also to water and also to oil. Water in a different, of course, it's are two different things, but water is giving life, and the oil is the essence of everything. The secret of Torah actually compared to essence. It said on the zakan of Aaron, they used to keep the drops of oil on the head of Aaron HaKohen and on the Mashiach and David HaMelech. They used to keep some the special ointment. And this is compared to the wisdom of God to sit on their head, the secrets of Torah, which will come, and we are lighting, hence we are lighting in oil mainly, or also in wax it's okay, but usually in oil many people want to do, and this is to compare that we are bringing out the light of Torah, which the spiritual win the material, and not just win, give light to it and give life to it. Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll see it in completeness. במהרה בימינו, amen. יחי אדוננו, מורנו ורבנו, מלך המשיח, לעולם ועד. Long live our Rebbe, King of Mashiach, forever and ever. Soon, be'ezrat Hashem, we'll see it. תודה רבה. Thank you everyone for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bless you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.